in the competition here for a relatively short period of time. This is where the spotlight shines brightest. But what is it about this sport and about this pursuit that would lead someone to devote a good portion of their entire life to it?
Well, I think we're very fortunate to have had the opportunity to be involved in the sport. You know, like sailing, it's many opportunities to travel, to meet new people, to be part of different teams, different groups, and you know, it's something that I'll cherish for many years. And you know, the rivalry on the water is very strong. You know, some of the friendships off are equally as strong. And so you know, it's been a sort of a career which you know, I've had no regrets.
Nathan, let's move to the outside here. You were something of a young gun the last time around. The outcome was somewhat disappointing, but here we are again. What did you learn the last time, and how will you put that in play this time?
Yeah, you know, joining the America's Cup at a young age and getting involved is it's a huge opportunity. And you know, you take someone like Jimmy, who started at a very young age as well. It takes a while to get your head around how it all works. You know, I started sailing in small boats, in small teams, and now I'm in a much bigger boat, a faster boat with a huge team behind you. And what I'm beginning to realise, and what I learned a lot in the first campaign, was how important every team member is. It's not just the guys on the boat. Here we've got 5 guys racing, but you know, back home we've got a huge support team, a huge build team, and it's about getting the whole team to work strongly together and keeping everyone motivated and you know, preparing for the America's Cup next year.
Let me start over here with Frank, and then we'll just go up and down the line before we turn it over to questions from the audience. For the uninitiated, those who thrill to watching it but might not understand the dynamics of it, what does it feel like to go at this speed? And obviously you can't just go at top speed all the time. There's strategy involved. Explain it to the person who doesn't really experience it firsthand.
Yeah, the boats are very fast, and also the courses are very short, so you have to decide and anticipate very quickly. Sometimes only the steering, the guy steering can do the job without communication, and the crew has to follow very quickly. So we have to train and know everybody together very well. It's very exciting because in 20 minutes you can have many situations in terms of tactic and strategy, and it's exciting for all the crew.
And the mic over. Your thought on it?
Yeah, look, I think the manoeuvres, whether it be windy or light air, are very physically demanding. And I think these boats, compared to a lot of other boats, are extremely physical to sail, and I think that's one of the beauties about the boats. In actual fact, these ones in particular, is that you know, there's 5 guys on board that all need to have excellent choreography to get the boat around the track, and when the guys are working well together, the boats are really nice to sail. So a lot of fun, but as Frank said, the training side of things is extremely important to be able to execute those manoeuvres well, and the gains and the losses of doing it well and not doing it well can become fairly apparent from the people looking from the outside.
It might seem to someone watching it on television, okay, these guys are expert sailors, but are they athletes? But clearly it's physically demanding. This isn't just like, you know, you're sailing to Catalina to have lunch or something.
Well, no, it's fair to say that at times, you know, you're just sitting there wondering what the hell's going to happen next. The boats are, you know, they're very extreme. You get a bit of breeze and they're incredibly fast. You know, the adrenaline that's going at times is very cool. It's sort of way different to the sailing that I grew up with in the early days. So, you know, on board the boats, the guy steering typically gets the best run at it. Really, sort of you just sort of watch the other, on these boats, the other 4 guys really, you know, getting sort of pushed to the absolute physical limits. And by the end of a 15-20 minute race, they're completely spent, and 10 minutes later you've got to turn around and do it again. So you know, the coordination, you do what you can when you're steering to try to help out as best you can, but it's you know, there's no denying that the boats are now very tough on the guys on board.
Jimmy, let me turn to you. Your team, Team Oracle, is the defending champion. That means you qualify for 2017 no matter what happens, so these other guys have to beat you. Take a good look around. Who are you most concerned about?
I'm concerned with every single one of them, actually. It's definitely, no doubt, this is the strongest group of challengers we've ever seen in the America's Cup. They are all incredibly well prepared. They've hired great people. The technology, the way the class rule is written, that challenger that comes out of this group will be, we'll be in for the fight of our lives. But that's why we do it. That's what motivates us. The fact that it's not easy, to win an America's Cup is a huge sacrifice and takes a huge level of commitment. And that's why we do it, because it is so difficult and so tough. But if I had to put my money on someone right now, I'd say I like the Japanese team. Because I really think their design team, and they've got a lot going for them. So I think they're going to be strong.
What are you actually after?
What is it, any of you, what is it about these waters, this course, that might distinguish it from other places where the America's Cup is contested?
Well, I think the obvious one is we are bang in front of, arguably the biggest city in the world, and that will create potentially some really challenging conditions. I think if we look out there today, the wind is actually pretty nice, it's running down the river. If we get conditions where the wind is coming through these skyscrapers, it'll be a bit of a minefield for all the teams out there. There's a lot of current out there, no doubt. Anyone that's walked along the foreshore there, it's a very, very strong current, but these boats are very, very quick. They can do 2 to 3 times the speed of the wind. They literally fly above the water. And the fact is, no matter what the conditions are, it's the same for everyone. No one gets an advantage, and it'll come down to the best team.
It's